What's up everyone, welcome back to One Strange Adventure and welcome to the next video and welcome to a tour of a new rig.
We are currently in a 381 MS Momentum. It's a M class, which is a little bit lighter weight. It comes in around 16,000 pounds dry, with a pin weight of around 3,500 pounds.
Yeah, so much lighter than our 399.
Yes.
And today we're going to give you a walkthrough of the interior and then I'll show you a little bit of the exterior. And we're going to talk a little bit about what we like more and what we like less about this rig than living in 399.
Yes.
Because we've actually lived in this one for a month now.
Now, I will tell you that with this rig being a lighter rig, it's really surprising because it's actually the same length as our 399.
44 feet.
Yep. And so it's really different on how they did the interior to make that weight different.
Yep. And we'll talk a little bit about it, especially when we get to the garage. There's some things with the driving that's actually a little different.
Yeah.
So let's start up in the nose.
Okay.
And then we will work our way back.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
All right. So in the bedroom, it is an east-west bed. So that's why it's going this direction. Our nice Brooklyn bedding that we had to switch over. It has the dresser here. It has the hidden cabinet.
Yes, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
We didn't use it that much because we had to work on top of it.
I use this for my desk, so my computer was here when we were borrowing the rig.
Okay.
It does have pretty good, decent sized drawers, and there's 6 of them. Then we have overhead storage. That's pretty deep.
Yep.
Waving to yourself.
Yep.
And then pretty deep cabinetry too.
It's really deep cabinetry. Especially like there's like a his and her side.
Yeah, so there's 2 of these cabinets on both sides of the middle. And there's something cool about that middle. I'll show you in just a second. And then of course it has more drawers on both sides. Now that side, the bottom drawer is a little shorter because of the slide. So that one over there is not quite as deep. And then these,
they're locked for travel.
So let's say a giant hairband, and it just goes around that hook.
And that's what holds the door on both sides.
From being able to be slidden. So we open it, it's got these nice cabinets going down. But it's a washer dryer prep, so it does have your water system and a plug back there. And then you just remove a couple of these.
Like you could do one and do a combo, or you could do stack.
These bottom 2 if you want to just do a bottom combo unit, or you can do all of them if you want the stackables.
And it's really nice because the washer dryer is in the center of the rig.
I love these. While we were in it, this is where all of our computers and all of that went. So that was really nice. And then to put this back on, all you do is take the little handle and pull and switch it over like that. And now it's in place. And then the door doesn't open. Now, with it being east-west bed, this rig comes with a king-size bed, but we didn't want to have to sleep on someone else's mattress, so we put that mattress in our rig and put our mattress over here for the time being. It does have USB ports on both sides, and as well as plugs on both sides. And then it has these little tiny
nightstands.
If you got the queen size bed, I'm sure these would be a little bigger.
The king goes wall to wall, so
right. The king goes wall to wall, so we actually had plenty of space.
Right.
And then these are push button lights. They have a little belly button in the middle of them. I did love these windows.
Yes.
Yeah, the windows were a really good addition to the bed.
There's a ton of natural light in this front bedroom. And there's a massive amount of storage underneath that bed.
Now this bed is heavy. If you have a big mattress like this and you, in your rig, you may want to increase your struts under the bed so that it'll actually keep it up.
But look at all that storage. Like,
yeah, this is a...
You could put your stools in there. My guitar fit in there. My desk fit in there.
Yep.
Plus this little like ledge right here on the like a shelf.
Yeah, these are the poles for the table for the
back.
collar. Yep.
Overall, I like this front nose better than I do the $3.99.
Yes, I love the east-west bed, which we have been saying from the get-go that the $3.99 needs to have an east-west bed. So,
yes. This bedroom is great.
if Grand Design's listening, we need an east-west bed.
The amount of space that you get right there.
Oh yeah, the dog's bed, so Luna's dog bed fit on the floor right here, and that's where she slept at nighttime. And we still have plenty of walking space.
Hello. The master bathroom. It's very similar to our $3.99. Actually, it's just reversed. It has the 2 doorways, which is nice in the morning because you don't have to be in the main living area in order to go to the bathroom when you wake up, which is great. You just roll out of bed, you zombie your way over to the toilet, you do your stuff, you get a shower, you're good for the day. But I do like the way they set this cabinetry up. The sink is pretty nice. Ours is in the corner. I do like the corner sink a little bit more. It gives you a little bit more room around the toilet. Plus, you have these little shelves here. This one does have the corner medicine cabinet, but what I love when they do this is this extra little space. They actually utilize some of the cabinetry from the kitchen in here, and it is a big space for towels. Like, look. I can barely touch the wall in there.
I can't touch the wall.
Yeah. And then the shower. We have the same shower, except this one has the corner shelves.
Right, we added shelves to ours.
Yep, this one has the bench. Other than that, it's the exact same shower as ours. But I do like the bench and having those shelves added. Now, another cool thing about this RV, pro and con, is the tankless water heater.
Yes.
Right? Because
on-demand water heater.
On-demand. It is amazing as long as it's above 60 degrees outside, because the rate of water going through the tank can keep up and you can have as much pressure as you want hot. If it's cold outside or the water temperature is cold, it takes longer to heat the water, and because the water is running through it the same speed, it's not getting as much time in the heater. So you have to cut back the pressure in order to get hot water.
Yes, we learned that the hard way.
Yes. You either get a high pressure shower that's kind of lukewarm, or you can get a hot shower that's like dribbling on you. And it's just not. I would do a tankless water heater, but I don't think I would do this brand, because this brand only goes up to 127 degrees Fahrenheit, and that just wasn't hot enough for us. It is nice having tankless water heater because all 3 of us could take showers back to back.
Yeah, and wash dishes.
And that was great, and it barely goes through any propane. Like, we have had this thing for a month. We used a tankless water heater, the furnace,
and the stove,
and the fridge runs on propane going down the road, and we haven't used. I think we might have used 1 tank, so it's pretty efficient. Let's head down to the main living area.
All right, so this is where the tankless water heater control is at, and this is where the one control is at, which is pretty nice. Being on the wall. Mm-hmm. Then you don't have to worry about it being in the cabinet. And then it does have the vacuum plug is right here for the hose, and then it has the dustpan down here. So we
pretty cool.
One of my favorite features.
It is. I do love that in ours.
We have a propane fridge, which is 20 cubic feet. So it's a pretty good size fridge.
It's a good size fridge, but it's not as big as the residential Samsung.
No, yeah, ours is deeper.
Yeah.
So these fridges are more narrow, so you gotta put your food, like a thing of eggs, and this one has to go this direction, to where in our refrigerator we can put it this direction. I will say one of the downsides of having a propane fridge is
it's kind of noisy.
It's very loud.
Yeah.
We don't ever hear ours kick on. But this one you do.
And we've gotten so used to not having to worry about it kicking over to propane when we unplug, right, because of our inverters.
Now, when we had our reflection, we had a propane fridge, and it had a divider, so we couldn't pass through. This one actually has a pass through, so we were able to put like the ice bucket and stuff up here, and still have plenty of space. But again, everything has to go
right
vertical.
All right.
All right, and then it does have a residential Insignia oven. This is the same one as what we have in our rig, so it's very familiar to be able to use it. And a residential microwave. This is not a convection microwave though. I know a lot of the Momentums come with convection. Ours does not have one, and this one doesn't. This one's not one either. Now we got fingerprints all over it. I have to go back and clean it. Now the cabinetry over here looks humongous, but because of that extra storage in the bathroom, the center one actually loses the cabinet at the top, which is okay. We still had plenty of space.
It would be really hard to reach it from this side.
Right, yeah.
For us.
You'd have to have a step stool every time you wanted to get up there. So I understand their concept of taking that away up there. So it was fine. And then this was plenty deep enough for like your plates to set on. And we used it for our cups and stuff too. And then you have 2 decent sized cabinets on both sides.
I will say this rig does not lack cabinetry and storage.
No, it does not. It actually has a lot of the same features as our reflection. The living room area is very familiar to the reflection.
Yeah, this has
Very
more
similar.
cabinetry than our 399 does.
It does. And then it's got drawers and more cabinetry down at the bottom. This long drawer was pretty nice. And then it's got another short one.
You do lose the last one, most of the last one, just because that's where your control panel is. Or,
Right.
I'm sorry,
The fuse box.
That's-
Fuse panel.
that's where your breaker panel is.
Now, I did use this little cubby right here. I used it for all of our trash bags and stuff. It was a good spot for them. So,
And then you got more cabinetry
yes.
over here.
Actually, this is actually a really neat feature that ours does not have. You have the big cabinet underneath the sink, and then the little cabinet has a pull-out drawer. So I use this one for all of our cleaning towels and stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Ours does not have that.
I also noticed that their spice rack has a second pull-out.
Oh yeah, so
Ours doesn't.
Ours only has the top piece. This one actually has the entire thing pulled out.
And what about the pantry? Does that...
Now this pantry looks the same as our $3.99, except for the vacuum and stuff is in the pantry. So this one actually has more pantry storage as far as shelves go, but ours is deeper.
Yeah.
So this one's very shallow. It only it's
It's like a cereal box width.
yeah. Oh, and it does have a light as well.
Nice. And then you got one more at the top.
I probably can't.
For us vertically challenged folks.
I can get it. Yep, I got it.
Yeah. That's where we put our vacuum.
Vacuum and games go
Stuff we don't use as much.
up there. Anything we don't need quite as often.
Yep.
It does have a max air fan. The control is over here next to the garage door, and then of course the big TV that swivels out, and then it has this nice little push button glass cabinet for all of your electronics.
And then you got this big couch.
Yes, the big super sofa. So each section of the super sofa actually comes out. Only the edges have the electric connectors for the heat, massage, and light. But the lighting system actually works on both. And then more
more-
storage.
Entertainments.
Now these ones are pretty shallow, but the ones on the end are a little deeper because they go off on an angle.
And then the fireplace.
That's feeling good right now. Y'all are wondering, it's like 52 degrees outside.
And then even more storage above your head.
Oh yeah, the loft.
All right. She showed you the bedroom. I did the bathroom. She did the main living area. Now it's time for my favorite part of this rig, which is the garage. And the reason that this is my favorite part is because this one comes with a 15-foot garage. Ours has a 13, but you take the four-season doors, and those are like 6 inches out. So you got a 12.5-foot garage. This is 15, so you get 14.5 with the doors. This is a really nice garage. In my opinion, this is probably like the perfect size, especially if you want to carry some of the bigger toys, like a Can-Am Spider, or a big golf cart, or a slingshot. That would be pretty sweet. But I really like this garage. Now, the one thing I've noticed, I talked about it earlier, I don't know if the axles are further back because of the big garage, so this supports more weight back here or what, but this rig tends to track in further than my 399 does. When I go to make turns, it's definitely tracking in a little bit further. It's not huge, but it is enough to notice the difference between towing the 399 and towing the 381. Again, I don't know if it's just because of the way they put the axles or what, but it does track different. So you have a pivot point because these are fifth wheels. You got a pivot point over top your truck, right? So when you turn, it's going to be like this. The 399, where it might be like this going around a turn, this one's like this going around a turn. So your wheels are just further into the curve than what you would on the 399.
Which means you have to swing a little bit farther out so that you don't end up clipping a tree or a post.
You definitely have to keep the nose of the truck a little further out from the turn. But I absolutely love this garage. It does have a half bath back here, and this half bath is bigger than our 399s.
The sink is sideways instead of it being.
And you got this opening right here, so when you sit on the toilet, it doesn't feel like the cabinetry is like right against your legs, which is nice. Big bathroom, big garage. You do that. You have the Happy Jack system, just like ours. Of course, we modified ours, which turns into bunk beds, or these come all the way down. They turn into couches. And that's where Nick slept, actually, while we were in here. He really likes sleeping in the garage.
Do you want to show them how it comes down?
Yes,
we don't have that on our channel anymore.
Yeah, we can. We press this little button over here. Here's a control panel inside the garage. And so you got your ceiling lights, your scare lights. These are outside lights. You have your awning that's over the pedestrian door, and then an awning that's over the back patio. And then you just press this bed down button. And what you're going to see is it's going to come down, and the top bunk is going to stop, and the bottom ones will keep going to make the bunk bed style. Wait a minute. There you go. So now those will go all the way down. It creates the bunk bed, and you have a bunk bed back here, or you have your couches. Now the cool thing about this also is that there's these pins at each corner. If I flip these and go back up, it will lock the top bunk in place.
Go ahead and flip it all the way so they can see
just like that. And it will lock the top bunk in place. That way it stays up, and the couches can come down, and you can use it as like a lounge.
It locks to these little pins. Right there. Right there. And then this top bed has a table strapped to it. These straps are built in underneath the mattress. This table, there's 3 legs that were under the main bed, and then those go in these little holes.
It's so you can have the table between the couches.
Yep, it makes a table between the couch.
Yep. All right, and then the last feature that we'll show you is once the beds are up, you can walk out on the back patio, which is always nice. It's kind of a perk of having a toy hauler, for sure. And so when you're in a nice spot, Florida Keys, desert, whatever your paradise is, open these up and come out, hang out on the patio, and that way you don't have to be on the ground as much.
Really yeah, you can see all these leaves.
Yes. I mean, the railing comes out, great place for the dogs. We have our side patio, which we absolutely love. This one doesn't have a side patio. That is one of the cons. One of the big reasons we would stick with the 399. But as a rig, I love this Momentum. It's really good. It has its pros and cons because we've lived in another one, but I think overall this is a really nice unit. All right, so that's a tour of the inside of the 381.
I think it's a pretty awesome rig.
I think it's a beautiful rig. It really is.
I will say one of the cons to this rig is because of the east-west bed, they need extra space up there. And then because of the extra space in the garage, because of it being 2 extra feet from ours, this living area is just a lot smaller.
Yeah. Yeah, for instance, if they did a 14-foot garage here, like you could get more space right here between the cabinets. As soon as you put a trash can or something right there, you lose that entrance.
Yeah, so for ours, we have a lot of space around our island.
Right.
Because of the garage being smaller and our bedroom being smaller. So this one, we love having that east-west bed and having all that extra space up there, but you do sacrifice that space back here. So you know, it's give or take.
Yep. So. All right, that's done. Inside is done. We're going to take you on a quick tour of the outside, give you a look at that, give you some of the numbers off the sticker, and then wrap this video up. Now we're outside. Let's talk about numbers. That's what everybody wants to know. How much carrying capacity or cargo weight can you carry with one of these Momentums? This particular one actually has more cargo capacity than our 399. The reason being is because the rig is overall lighter. And Probably a big reason is that side patio. But this one comes in at 15,628 pounds. You have a 20,000 pound GVWR. It gives you a cargo capacity of 4,312 pounds. It's pretty good. You have your propane tanks. You have two 30s. And then your Nautilus water system. Now, cool thing about this, it is actually a pass-through. It's a smaller pass-through on this side, and because it's not a drop frame, you don't have as much vertical space to store stuff, but you do have a pass-through. Same Nautilus system, all that is exactly the same. Big difference out here is this. This is for the tankless water heater, totally different than ours, of course, and the furnace is vertical, so that's a little different. Front storage, I actually have all of our Ryobi tools in there. Yes, we have Ryobi tools, but this one has the Cummins generator. It's the Onan 5500, same as ours. And then you have all this cargo capacity here, of course, because they don't have a battery system in this one. And then another propane tank, and then here's your storage. But you actually have more storage over on this side, like this way, behind this wall. So it is actually a pretty big storage. And then the other feature that I'll talk about on the outside of this is you do have a speaker system and you have an outside TV, which I think is locked. Yes, you have an outside TV. So overall, I think this is a really cool momentum. If you're interested in buying one, it's a little bit lighter, but you still have the length. You have a big garage and you get the east-west bed. So there's definitely some benefits to the 381. All right, that does it for today's video. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you really like it, make sure you subscribe. Thank you to all our patrons listed on the final page. And till the next strange adventure, keep making your own.